I feel like we're recording.
We are recording. Welcome to this week's episode of Fat, Drunk, and Stupid. I'm Rob, with you as always. And joining me is my good friend, Arielle Dundas. It's
Hi.
good to see you, Arielle. We haven't talked
Yeah,
in a long time.
it's been a while.
It's,
Yeah.
it has been a while. I was on a self-imposed Twitter exile, but I've
Uh,
returned.
Yay. Welcome back.
I did it for you. What can I say?
You
I said
returned or went on exile?
both.
Oh,
Both.
okay.
Yeah, both. I was like, I've had enough. I can't deal with Arielle anymore. Then I was like, no, I can't leave her like this. Andrew Cuomo's up there groping women with his nipple rings. I can't leave her like this. In your time of need, I can't.
It is my time of need.
Yeah. Well, what have you been doing?
Mm, uh, I don't know, chilling. Uh, I'm slowly starting to do outside shows
Yeah.
as of
How's that?
like 2 weeks ago or something. But other than that, I've been like in my apartment all winter.
Yeah. Just
Yeah,
hanging out.
hanging out. Yeah,
The
slowly going crazy. But
well, hey, everything's on the upswing now.
yeah. No, I mean the weather is nice, and that means like a lot. I
That is
it'll
true.
be okay.
It's like a couple weeks ago, there was a big snowstorm or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
It's like on top of all the other shit we got going on, now we got negative 15-degree temperatures.
Mm.
As if we need another kick in the nuts. But yeah. Well, you've been doing some influencing. I've been keeping up with you
You've been keeping up
on
with me
Twitter.
1 second.
Yeah. I print out all your tweets and read them out loud every morning. My daily confirmation.
That's very like normal behavior.
Well,
So
yeah, of course it is. That's what friends are for. Come on.
printing out your tweets.
I keep them in a catalog. Flip through them. A 3-ring binder. I like the one. So I have to ask you this: how long are you going to live off the Muppet tweet? Like that's kind of got some legs. You kind of just living on. I mean, come on. You're like the
I
New
mean,
York.
okay, so
You're like
like,
the New York Jets. You won one Super Bowl 45 years ago, and you're just gonna keep dragging Joe Namath's corpse out in front of everybody.
okay, so to catch people, I think it's the story of the Muppet tweet
Oh yeah.
actually starts with Eminem.
Hmm.
So I had a tweet about Eminem, and now I'm gonna butcher it. It was that like the Muppet tweet is but the Eminem tweet was actually like, which is like, uh, wait, let me look it up.
Oh geez, here we go.
I don't want to misquote myself.
Yeah, don't misquote yourself. Certainly not. We can't have that.
And yes, I have, yeah, okay.
Yes.
I have 2 phones.
One's
It's because I'm just organized, not because I'm a drug dealer. But
yeah. One phone is just for tweets. Strictly just for tweets.
What?
My tweeting phone.
What?
My tweeting phone.
My tweeting phone.
That's right.
I mean, it's really just I got a new phone, and then I was gonna recycle the old phone, and then I never got around to it. And then there's this
Captivating.
Yeah, no, I mean,
Do people still recycle phones? Is that still a thing?
I don't know. Apparently not.
I
Apparently.
just throw mine in the backyard as hard as I can.
Oh, okay. I mean, that's also normal behavior. Okay, so the story of the Muppet tweet.
Yes.
Actually.
Regale us with this tale, please. I think you were trying to piss off Star Wars nerds.
I mean, well, okay, yeah, but before the Muppet tweet, I had a tweet that was all I know is that Eminem absolutely should have not written back to Stan. I should not have written back to Stan.
Right.
And that got like 300 likes on Twitter, which isn't that's a good tweet for me, but that's not that uncommon.
Yeah.
But it also got although they changed the algorithm and now it's more uncommon. But anyway, I put it on Instagram, and it also got 300 likes on Instagram, which is very
There you go.
good for me. So then I did a joke about how like I was making fun of people who have like one thing go viral, and then that becomes like it has to become like their thing. So then I was like, now I'm an Eminem influencer, but I don't have like really any other opinions about Eminem. Like this is my only thought about Eminem.
That's your only Eminem take. That's it.
Yeah, that's really it. And like, I did like a couple of things where I was floundering about having a tweet about Eminem, and then I had a tweet where I said more Muppets, less Star Wars, and that got like 9,000 likes. And
to the moon.
Like, to the moon. I mean, you know, I have a friend who, as we speak, is probably getting 1 million likes. So, you know, it's relative. But it got like 9,000 likes. So then I was like, oh, now I'm a Muppet influencer.
Doing some numbers right there.
Doing some numbers. Follow Iris Brody.
There you go, people.
Very, very funny.
Write it down.
Write it down. Or
how do you spell that? With an A or an I?
An I. Just_Iris, I believe. Let me.
Iris. Are they a Muppet influencer too? Probably not.
Not really. She's just a comedian. So then I did a joke about how I had to be the Muppet influencer, but then I do have a lot of Muppet opinions, so then I would share them. And then I started doing this thing that I still think is funny, where I would go through and I would tell you how I thought the Muppets would be in bed.
Mm-hmm. You're creating a whole like Muppet verse with this.
I mean, I didn't create the Muppet verse. The Muppet verse has existed for 50 years.
No, it has, but you're taking it to a new direction, as they call it.
Yeah, that's true. And I am right. I do feel very strongly that I am right about all of the prognostications.
Do you have a favorite Muppet?
Miss Piggy.
Miss Piggy? I figured you'd say that. It's a very feminist answer.
I mean, she's iconic.
Pretty typical. Oh, she is.
Like, yeah. I mean, like, it's interesting because she's like this, like, she's basically like just like a ball. Like, she's made by men, and she's just like a ball of all these like sexist, fatphobic stereotypes.
Yeah.
But like,
she's obsessed with her looks, but she's also like really violent.
Yeah, no, I mean, like, people are sexist to her, and she just like beats the shit out of them, and like, I mean, what else? What else?
I'm cool with that.
Want? Yeah,
I like that. Well, it seems to be doing very well with you with that. I mean, I think you've been, you know,
yeah,
you get to ride that wave. You get to ride that wave as long as you can take it.
Yeah, no, exactly. And if people want to make me go viral for something else, I will also accept that. I do, you know.
I almost ratioed that tweet, but I didn't want to hurt your numbers.
Oh, I mean, you can try and ratio me if you
I just learned what that means like 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
So I would see people put ratio like in a comment, and I'm like, what the fuck does that mean, ratio? So one day, finally, I just Googled it, and I was like, this is so stupid. I can't believe like when I Googled it, I felt so dumb Googling it because, you know, just like this made up thing. Like everything else.
All of Twitter is made up. I mean, so there's a guy that all of Twitter hates who's very popular on Instagram, and I'm like, I don't like love him, but I think.
Are you talking about Donald Trump?
No, Instagram does not love Donald Trump.
Maybe Trump Jr.
His ass is too flat and wide.
You can't get Instagram with a flat ass. It's not.
Yeah, exactly. No. Okay, he's the balloon guy.
Don't know who that is.
Okay, so I feel like you're gonna hate him when I describe it, but he's this guy in Portland, and I
hate him already.
He takes people's tweets with their permission and quoting them, and he spells them out in balloons. And like, it's not like the most revolutionary thing that anyone's ever done. They are recycled, eco-friendly balloons.
Oh, like he actually does it, like real balloons.
Yeah, and then he like takes a picture of it. Yeah, and he has like okay taste in terms of the tweets he picks, but people on Twitter fucking hate him. And
I'm gonna look this guy up just to be like, I fucking hate you, dude. I don't even know who you are.
But like one recently, some guy drove past him doing one of his things and like shouted, nobody on Twitter thinks you're cool, which like
that's the most hurtful thing anybody could say to anybody.
Like the idea that like Twitter's opinion of what is cool is like relevant to anyone, like
I guess it is. I mean Twitter.
I guess it matters to me, but like
Twitter got us a 4-hour Justice League movie.
I mean, well, yay! Woo! I don't know what emotion that was. I haven't watched it. Have you watched it?
No, I don't want to watch it. It looks stupid. I'm tired of it.
I mean,
I'm tired of this crap. You know, here's the thing. I grew up reading comic books like a lot of people did.
Mm-hmm.
You know, just as a kid who liked stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And then some of these movies started trickling in. And I'm like, oh, this is neat, you know? I remember I went and saw the Batman movie, the Tim Burton movie in '89. I saw it in the movie theater. I was 8 years old. And I thought that was the coolest thing I'd ever seen, because I'd never seen, up until then, when I was a wee chap before you came along, the only time I saw Batman was the old 1966 Adam West Batman. They used to do the reruns on the Family Channel, or Super Friends, or if they were on like Scooby-Doo or something like that. That was it. You didn't have like every show was a comic book show. And then all of a sudden, all these companies are like, oh, we'll make a lot of money just pumping these movies out. And so that's kind of what they've been doing over the past 20 years. And it's just like, enough.
I don't know. I like the Marvel movies mostly.
I figured you probably did. No, I like some of them. I mean, you know, I don't really go crazy over them, but you know, I've watched, I think, most of them for the most part. Yeah. I didn't see Captain Marvel though.
You don't need to.
Brie Larson told me it wasn't for me, and I respect her opinion because I respect women.
What did she say?
She said it's not for white dudes. That's what she said in public. Did you not see that?
I mean, it just sounds like a lot. I mean, you know, it just wasn't that good. I mean,
and that's the thing. If you watch that movie and you say, well, it's not that good, then you're told that you don't like women and you don't like women leading movies, which is
yeah. I mean, but you know, like Brie Larson has been in much better movies. You know, I don't know. Sorry, the light is
I like how I like the brick behind you is nice though. Yeah, it's a nice touch.
You know,
is that your studio? That's your homemade studio?
No, I mean it's just I'm in a different apartment from I think the last time it was on your show, but it's just what this is my apartment. Like I didn't like
I live in a chimney.
Exposed brick there, but it's sort of like a lot of comedians like have like backgrounds with exposed brick.
That's true, like, I guess. To
stimulate like a comedy club, and I'm like, no, but mine is real, you know. So I'm better than you. Also colder because it's not very well insulated.
It's like what's that comedy club that they used to show on TV? Like Andy Kaufman used to go there, had the brick wall. Was the Improv? Are you familiar with that?
Maybe a lot of them. There was like that's a very comedy club aesthetic from the 80s and 90s.
I feel like the comedy club at the beginning of every Seinfeld episode. That's what every comedy club looks like.
Yeah.
I used to watch that when I was a kid on Comedy Central. That's back. I'm sorry, I'm boring you. I'm sorry.
No, I'm sorry. I thought I'd turned my phone on silent, but it vibrated and it made me mad.
That's okay.
Um,
It used to be called the Comedy Channel back in the day, and it just played stand-up comedy 24/7 when I was a kid. And I used to watch it all the time. And then at some point they started doing other stuff.
but you never wanted to be a stand-up?
Not really. I mean, I always liked it. I like that kind of stuff. You know, I used to watch like the old SNL reruns and all these kinds of things. I was a big Chevy Chase fan because they would on the E network, they would show the old SNLs when he did Weekend Update, and that was always my favorite part because he was always I thought he was cool. I guess later on he became a jerk, but
Who?
Chevy Chase.
I mean, I think he probably was always a jerk, but like
Probably so.
but you know, whatever. Sometimes jerks are funny.
No, I never wanted to be. I never thought about it. I have a friend of mine who tried it a couple times, and he said he said he was never going to do it again. It's pretty. I guess it's pretty nerve wracking. I don't know. I mean,
Yeah, I mean, like it's also like I know literally hundreds of people who literally need to do stand up.
yeah,
Uh, like, and I'm not really like, I want to be supportive of my friends and everything. But sometimes when there are people who are like, I'm kind of sort of thinking about doing stand up, I'm like, maybe don't take time away from the people who need to do it or they will kill themselves. Do you know what
true.
I mean?
Yeah, that's true. Well, I think it's probably one of those things that I imagine. Number one, when you tell people I'm a stand-up comedian, they're like, "Oh, I've always wanted to do that, or I could do that, or
Yeah.
all
I
my
get that a
friends,
lot.
my friends at work say I'm really funny." You know, probably that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So it's like being like people. I talk to people who are writers. They say that the first thing that people tell them is, "Oh, I write," and they're like, "Oh yeah, what do you write? And have you ever had, have you been published?" They're like, "Oh no, I just write for fun." It's like, "Oh, okay," but
Yeah. I mean, it's also like part of like being good at stand-up comedy is making people think that you're saying this all for the first time, basically.
true. Yeah, that's true.
So then but one thing I don't think I've talked to male comedians and they don't really like. I don't think they get this, but maybe they do. But women comedians certainly will get like a guy who'll be like, "Oh, I've always wanted to be a stand-up comedian. How do you do that?" And it's like, I didn't like try and find a comedian on a dating app. Like the information is available to you. Like we have the internet now. Like I don't know.
Yeah.
And it's also like I don't know. And I mean it's it's not rocket science. I like get it. Like technically anyone could do it, but it's because anyone could do it. The fact that you're not doing it is like a pretty big sign that you shouldn't do it. I don't know. I'm not. If you've always wanted to do it, you should do it. But if it's like a thing you're kind of sort of thinking about, maybe wait like at least a year after the pandemic is over.
Well, you had all the pandemic material. We covered that before.
Mm-hmm.
You couldn't use it
Yeah.
because there was an actual pandemic. I think it's one of those things where, I mean, anybody could probably do it, but I think the people that do it well, like you're able to look at a situation and see it through a different way,
Yeah.
And there's different types of comedians. I mean, there's the story people, there's the, observational.
I mean, yeah. The thing about the pandemic, though, is like at this point, everybody's having like totally different experiences.
Mm-hmm.
Like I have a family member who is like on the one hand, I have a family member who was like, oh, you should like come to like my daughter's third birthday party. It's gonna be really small, like socially distanced. It's just family. And I was like, we are second cousins.
Yeah. It doesn't rate on the pandemic scale. That's not
Yeah,
gonna
I
happen.
was like, no, but like, if you're saying only family, but I'm family, it's literally like 100 people.
There's like 100 more people who closer to that person than you are.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, but like, and I want to be clear, like, they honestly believe that what they're saying, like, in their heads, these
Hmm.
people are like, we're being safe, and it's so different than it would have been a year ago. But it doesn't seem that different for me. On the other end of the spectrum, like, a friend of mine, she's been like staying basically like alone in her apartment the whole time,
Hmm.
and like she's like asking me about indoor dining, which I don't do, and just putting it out there. I don't know. um
You don't do indoor dining
no, not really, not yet.
at all? Not at all? Oh, just during the pandemic.
Yeah. No, no.
I
I
thought you
mean,
meant never.
since
I have
indoor
never
dining,
eaten inside of a building. Never.
yeah, I always picnic.
I'll have the number 5. Meet me out back, please.
Three meals a day I picnic
Yeah, right outside.
for my entire life. No, and I mean, like, never. Okay, but my friend was like, she's like, I don't. She like took me aside, and by aside I mean like she DM'd me, and she was
Mm.
like, "How do people eat with their masks on?" And I was like, "What?"
It's like a feed bag. You put the food inside the mask.
And she was like, you like, how do they like, if you have to wear masks for indoor dining? And I was like, no, they take them off at the table. And she was like, what? And I was like, yeah, no, it's not great. But I mean, like, my point is that like these people like are having, like, we're all just like living in our own universe, and we're
I
hanging,
know.
we're the people we're like interacting with the most have like our same risk level. I don't know. Also, like, I don't know. It's very
Around here,
easy.
well, I will tell you, around here,
Mm-hmm.
it's been wacky because nobody has like when this thing first kicked off, like it was like a year ago,
Mm-hmm.
and there were people, they did a mask ordinance, and a bunch of people here threw a big fit, and they were passing around a what do you call it, a petition to recall and fire the whole city council because they did a mask ordinance. Because this is Southwest Missouri here in Joplin, so it's
Mm-hmm.
very much conservative country, very much you know the kind of people who don't want to wear a mask, you know, those kinds of people.
Mm-hmm.
And so uh, I've been working from home this whole time, and I
Mm-hmm.
haven't really gone anywhere. But like I picked up some food like here and there, but people walk up to the door, like they get their mask and they put it on. They walk up to the door, they open the door, they just take it off and walk and walk. It's like, what's the point? Or you go sit down,
Yeah.
take it off. It's like, I mean, what's the point? I mean,
Yeah.
it just seems kind of silly. So I'm getting my vaccine this week, by the way, Thursday.
Oh, which one?
The Pfizer.
Okay. I've already had my first Moderna, and I get my second
You're-
Moderna this week, so that's
It's like,
exciting.
oh, you're a Pfizer person.
Yeah. I only fuck with Moderna. It's
I know.
Moderna gang all the way.
This
Oh,
is it.
but these Johnson and Johnson people, we have to team up to fight them. You know.
You get over the AstraZeneca people. Those people
Well,
are wacky.
I mean, they're European. It's not like a thing here yet.
That's
I
some
mean,
of your that's some of your people over there.
yeah.
The Dutch.
The Dutch, yeah.
There was I watched a show. There's this guy named Rick Stein.
Okay.
Not the not not the not the guy from Ferris Bueller, but this guy is a British chef.
That's Benstein.
Ben Stein. There you go. No, this guy's Rick Stein.
Okay.
He's a British chef. And anyway, he does this show where he goes around to all these places for a weekend and eats the food and stuff. I like watching stuff like that, especially during the pandemic when you can't go anywhere. And
Yeah.
he went to Copenhagen,
Mm-hmm.
and I thought about you instantly because weren't you over there? Denmark, weren't you? Or no?
No, the Netherlands.
Ah, well, fuck, close enough.
Yeah, no, it is. It is very close. I'm gonna go get another drink. I thought I brought 2 drinks over, but I only
That's
brought.
fine.
Okay.
I'll entertain everybody.
Yeah.
On.
I mean, or you could cut to the good part when I'm back.
Oh no, that didn't sound good.
No. Ah, where is it?
I'm not cutting this out. I hope everybody's enjoying the show. No, I know I am.
I'm back.
All right, and we're back.
Yeah. After these brief messages.
Word from our Spatzer. Don't you think people now, like the Twitter progression is funny because I joined Twitter in, I think it was like April last year. And it was like early quarantine. Everybody was making quarantine jokes and and then it's like things slowly progress. It was like a zombie movie. Like at first everybody's like, "Oh, it's okay. We have food and water. We can be here for a while. No problem." And then skip ahead months later and everybody's just murdering each other and it's just cutthroat.
Yeah.
And then and then you have all the Trump stuff going on. And it's just a weird progression because I feel like a lot of people I think got so conditioned to being angry at Trump on Twitter every day. And now he's gone. And I think they're looking for stuff to be angry about. I think they missed it. Wait.
I mean, like, I don't know. Can I say something that's like a huge...
You can say whatever you want. That's the beauty of this
downer?
podcast.
Okay. Well, I mean, I don't know if I want to say it. But I will say, like, I still think that, like, there's a real possibility that I don't know why I'm being so like shy about this. Like,
I don't know why
I'm
you're being so
talking
shy
about
either.
a boy I like or something. But no, I think there's like a real, again, downer alert if you don't.
Here we go. Here we go.
Want
This is
to be
gonna be
depressed.
good. This is gonna be good.
I think there's a very real possibility that democracy doesn't survive to 2030.
I agree.
Because of things that, like, I mean, like, again, that like Trump did, but also like he didn't become the president in a vacuum.
Mm-hmm.
And it gets complicated because like I have, friends who are comics and like they live in this world where they're still, they think they're just being like puckish.
Mm-hmm.
But really, like, their fans are just Nazis, and they're just telling the Nazis what the Nazis want to hear, and they like think they're speaking truth to power, and like they honestly believe it, and like so it's like it's hard, but it's just like, no, like you're not like pulling like a fun little prank on someone. You're like harassing someone because they're not a Nazi, and you're unleashing Nazis on them. You know?
Do you know any Nazi comedian friends? Those guys are hilarious, I'm sure.
I mean, friends is a strong term. But like, no, I have friends who are friends with those people, and they get really like upset when people criticize them. And I mean, like, it's also like, and like I get it because they're they're friends and they don't think of them. I personally, I think the idea of good people and bad people is like unhelpful.
Right.
But like, I think people do good things and bad things, and they should be like held accountable for those things. But like, nobody is beyond retribution. Not retribution. I am drunk, and this is super heavy. Nobody is beyond redemption. I don't believe that. But it's just like so frustrating. I don't know, to be like, you just like, you think you're being edgy, but really you're literally just telling your audience what they want to hear. That's the opposite
Right.
of edgy. And
I mean, do you think it's hard to be edgy if you're a comedian now?
I mean, like, I think it depends what you mean by that. I think there's all these factions. I also don't think the pandemic helped because now we're like really not seeing each other. Like,
Yeah.
so we
I've
like,
thought about this, and I will tell you this too. I don't know about you. I'm not a comedian, but
mm-hmm.
even sometimes, most of the time on Twitter, when I tweet something, it's usually some nonsense or something dumb,
Mm-hmm.
because and there are times though when I'll see something on Twitter and I get a little pissy about it and I'll tweet about it. But I tend to not to because I don't want to be like just I think you try to balance like there's probably stuff you see that you want to just go on a tear on Twitter and just start yelling about it. But then you're like, well, at least for me, I think, well, no, I don't want to do that because that's just a waste of time. Because usually you see something on Twitter, then you react to it, then you tweet, and then 15, 20 minutes later, you probably are like, at least for me, I'm like, man, I don't know why I tweeted that. That was dumb. I shouldn't have
Yeah.
tweeted it. But not really because I care about what other people think, but just for me, like
Right.
I can't believe I read this story and then I read a couple comments, which is always a mistake.
Mm.
Never go into the comments on anything because that is
Mm.
it's a landmine. But I'm not a comedian, but I do like there's some stuff I tweet, even a joke or something. I'll think, oh yeah, I'll tweet that out. Maybe people think that's funny, but then I'll think, well, I don't know. I don't really want to hear a bunch of crap about that. It's because it's easy because plus on Twitter, like nobody really knows each other very well unless you are close friends with somebody and
Right.
you know someone's like style of humor or something like that. It's very easy to misinterpret what somebody says.
Right.
So
And
I don't
like
know.
people are not like inclined uh
People just will shout you down and then quote tweet you and be like, go hate this person right now. And people will be like,
yeah.
okay, let's go
Right.
hate
And
this
I mean
person.
like I don't know. There's like a very specific circle. I'm not gonna use names, but like no, because I don't
No, I
actually
get you. I know that's cool.
okay, but there's a like a left wing comedian tweeted something about
I thought all comedians are left wing.
I was just talking about Nazi comedians.
I know. Oh, well, that's just one guy.
No, I mean no, like there's
There's like a real subgenre of white supremacist comedians, maybe.
right. Well, and I mean like they don't this is the thing is that they honestly, like I said, they like don't they think of themselves as like pranksters,
Oh yeah,
but
yeah.
but like like I don't know, like they're not any like it's just it's one of those things where like okay, let me explain the circumstances about what's going on now.
Okay.
A comedian, I don't know her, but she is like actively friends with people I'm friends with on Twitter.
Here we go.
And she tweeted something about how oh my god, I've forgotten his name.
You could make up another name.
Well, no, okay. Well, okay. The circumstances I'm going to explain can only apply to one person. But she was talking about the guy who had his like offer from SNL revoked because
Okay.
of his anti like Asian comments.
Yeah,
And
I
she was
remember.
saying, she was like, people think that these like comments happen in a vacuum.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like all it's like a dehumanizing thing.
Right.
And it was maybe like a little bit extreme. Again, like also like
Was this recent that she tweeted that?
yes, because of the attacks
right.
that happened.
Right. So she's riding that Stop Asian Hate karma.
What?
She's riding the old Stop Asian Hate karma because that was the most recent thing to.
Yeah. I mean, I don't karma. I don't know if that's the right word, but like
No, I mean,
yeah.
people will like, when something like that goes on, I feel like people kind of jump in and say, oh, by the way, this or,
right.
this.
I mean, but I think like the thing again. I don't know if people can tell where my sympathies lie in this, and I actually really didn't want to get involved in it, but now I'm drunk. So, but anyway, I think what she was saying is that like a lot of these prankster comedians think of racism as funny because it's over.
Right.
But it's not over. This is like, that's not exactly what she said. What she said was like a little bit more extreme and not, I don't totally agree with what she said.
Mm-hmm.
But now these people, some of whom have huge platforms, have gone through her old tweets, and she said something racist against Asians 8 years ago.
Oh no.
Which, like, these people don't believe and like, they're like the anti-cancel culture people, but they're also like trying to cancel her for saying that their friend should have been canceled, basically. And I get that they like don't know her as a person,
right?
And their friend, who they do know, had his dreams crushed because he probably really want, like, if you get SNL, that's a huge deal, and to have it taken away from you, I'm sure that really, really hurt.
Right.
So
his friends were like, well, let's go find something on this chick and get her canceled.
Right.
Gotcha.
And now they're like impersonating her on Twitter, and like some of them have huge platforms and really angry fans, and they're like directing their angry fans to her, and it's like, none of this is helping anyone.
No, I think I think that whole thing is dumb. I mean, digging up tweets from 10 years ago.
Right.
Because the problem is, it's like I read about the and I don't know who this lady is, but the Teen Vogue editor lady. Yeah. I don't remember her name, but I never heard of her before this. I saw it on Twitter, of course, but
right.
They found tweets from like 10 years ago. Apparently, it was people on the staff that I read. I read this actually. People were upset that she got the editor position over them because she's only like 27 or something, I think. Mm-hmm. And so they found these like 2 or 3 tweets she made, and so then everybody's like, advertisers are pulling out, and then she's got and it's like, the problem is it doesn't allow for any, like, how can you say, yeah, okay, I made some tweets 10 years ago when I was in college. I've grown and matured since then. But these people don't care. They just want you canceled. Yeah.
I mean, it's also like, there's, it's also like, you're within like a capitalist framework. Nobody is like guaranteed a job.
Yeah.
But like, I mean, it's also so funny because I remember how like upset my mom was. Like my parent, I went to college right when like Facebook became a thing.
Yeah.
And my mom was like, "You're not like posting pictures of you drinking, are you?" And like they were so worried about, and like I cannot imagine a single, like, if somebody, like, I drank before I was 21 and I took pictures of it, and they are still somewhere on the internet. And I cannot imagine like a single person giving the tiniest fraction of a fuck about that.
I ran into that when I became a police officer. Mm-hmm. When I got out of the Army and I became a police officer in 2007, they looked at, I had a Facebook and a MySpace.
Yeah.
Anyway, they looked at my Facebook. My Facebook photo was myself and a couple of the guys. We had a kegger after we got back from Iraq.
Mm-hmm.
And so we're standing around the keg and we're all holding our cups, And they were like, "Oh, you might want to change that picture." I said, "Why?"
Hmm.
He said, "Well, people might see that and get the wrong idea." I said, "Well, everybody in that picture is 21. So there's nothing illegal going on." Yeah, but you know, the public, you're a police officer and the public might. So I was like, this is stupid, which there are a lot of guys who got in trouble for social media as a police officer, among other things, like
Mm-hmm.
half naked women laying on the hood of the police car and stuff like that. People actually, yeah, believe it or not, there was a guy whose wife took pictures. She was wearing his police shirt and some panties, and she was posing on the hood of his police car, and he posted them on Facebook. It's like, are you moron? What's wrong with you? But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I mean, I think the funny thing with social media now is that I think everybody shares all this stuff, but then they get mad when people get too intrusive, or
Yeah.
get their, yeah, it's like, it's weird because you're sharing your business. I don't know.
But it's also like, again, I was like technically on Twitter in 2013, but like not like I was really bad at it. Basically,
You've been
I
working on it.
was
You've been sharpening your craft ever since.
well, no, I started building I I started getting good at thinking about okay. I'll go through my personal Twitter journey in a second but like in 2013, in
Mhm.
2014, it was the whole thing, the whole like the Twitter ethos for the people who are good at Twitter, which was not me, was
Yeah.
all about being as shocking as possible.
Yes.
And like Obama was president, so like racism was over. So it was okay to be again, it was okay to be racist because racism wasn't real anymore. That's how
Mhm.
people thought. And by people I mean white people, of course. And I don't know, like yeah, it like I don't know. Like I'm pretty left wing on some things and I don't know, moderate on others. I don't know. But like I do think cancel culture exists and I don't think it's helpful because like I think that everybody is redeemable. Um
Mhm. I mean, especially something that you said 10, 12 years ago. I mean, come on.
yeah. And like and again, like probably like just like yeah, you were probably very young. I mean, the story I was talking about, she was literally 17, I think. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, and I'm not saying that like, yeah, I don't know. It's just, but it's also like the people who hate cancel culture, like, have actually been doing cancel culture for longer, if that makes any sense. Like,
Oh yeah. I remember when I was in high school when Columbine happened.
mm-hmm.
Uh, do you remember that? You may have been too young for that.
No, I remember Columbine.
Okay. I was a senior in high school when that happened,
Mm-hmm.
and I remember seeing they were trying to say it was attributed to video games and rock and roll, Marilyn
Mm-hmm.
Manson in particular, because
Right,
the kids that did it, I guess, had some Marilyn Manson CDs or something, right?
right.
So there's always something to try that
Right. But I mean, like, on the, one thing that really like broke my brain is that the the I, there's no way to say the sentence without using their original name first, but the Dixie Chicks changed their names to the Chicks,
yes.
and people were like, "This is cancel culture gone mad," and it's like, literally, the band gets to call themselves what are you talking? But the people who were upset about it as cancel culture a lot of them had like burned Dixie Chick CDs
I remember that.
in
I remember that happened.
2003. So it's
Yeah.
just like, no, you're like this has been like a right-wing strategy for a really long time. You're just
I
mad
remember
the
that.
left is trying to do it too.
That was yeah, I went to Iraq the first time in '03, like the initial whole whoop to do.
Yeah.
And you didn't, and I was thinking about this the other day because I remember um, a friend of mine asked me about what was it like being in the army and like voting and stuff like that. And I said, well, in '03, nobody, I remember John Kerry ran against W
Mm-hmm.
for the second term.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, I, I don't know anybody who was even like breathed a positive word about John Kerry. Either they were scared to, or they just didn't care, or didn't want to. But we didn't really care about that stuff. But yeah, at that time, the Dixie Chicks, they they got canceled themselves, or pretty much.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, and that's just kind of the way the country was at the time. You know, if you said anything against, excuse me, anti-Bush or anti the war, everybody was ready to pile on you, and you know, it was just kind of a weird thing. I still like the Dixie Chicks, by the way. I'm cool with them.
I like them too. I also think like they got like a lot of criticism on the left too, because people were like, changing your name doesn't like end racism, and it's like, yeah,
Yeah,
sure,
it's just
but
stupid. I mean, it's like, what are you supposed to
they're
do?
just three women. Like they can change their name. They can't like end. Like, do you know what I mean? Like,
Well, here's a funny one. So I read this. There was a country group called Lady Antebellum. Did you hear about this?
yeah, yeah.
And
I'm
so
very familiar with their work. Yeah.
okay, cool. You probably sing it. You're like, "Wah." So
Oh yeah, yeah.
uh, I know you belt it out. So they changed their name to Lady A,
Mm-hmm.
right? And then people got mad about that because there's a black lady who's a singer named Lady A. So
Mm-hmm.
then now they're trying to appropriate this lady's name after they had to get rid of their first name. Then
Yeah.
their second name wasn't good enough. So
Well,
it's
I
like,
mean, like, so, like, I mean, this is the thing. Is like, antebellum is like, uh, I can probably sing so many of their songs, and
you should go ahead. Let's try one.
let's do it. It's 1:15.
Oh
I'm
yeah, that's a good one.
alone and I need you now. Okay. Anyway,
They don't make music like that anymore, unfortunately.
yes, they do.
No, they don't.
It's very
Like
true.
what?
I don't know.
What kind of music do you like, really?
I've been listening to like a lot of
Of
country.
Lady Annabelle,
No, okay. Well,
alone in your apartment, just blaring some Dixie Chicks.
yeah, that I don't feel bad about. But
Did you
some
see that Reba
Yeah,
McEntire?
Reba McEntire.
Oh yeah.
Maybe. Okay, this is I don't know. This will maybe get me canceled.
Here
But
we go. Here we go. Here we go.
I've been listening to some Toby Keith again recently.
Oh no.
Yeah,
You're
I mean,
done.
like, and like I don't listen to his
You
war
better not let
crimes.
Twitter hear you say that.
I mean, I don't know. I've done stand up about it. I like this is the other thing is that like yeah, like it's like the context is like lost on Twitter when you
I,
talk about
oh, I
things.
know. Here's the thing with Toby Keith. He did that, courtesy the red, white, and blue
I mean
at the
I
right
mean I
time, and
am not listening to that.
he made a gazillion dollars because he's like, this is what people want, and by God, I'm going to sing it, and I'm going to put on a sleeveless Star Spangled Banner shirt, and I'm going to go sing these red, white, and blue songs, and I'm going to make a lot of
To
money.
put it in context, and there's two songs I haven't been listening to what I call his war crime songs, but
War crime songs. The Taliban song is a good one. That's one of my
yeah,
favorites.
no, there's the Taliban song and there's courtesy of Red, White, and Blue.
Yeah, I love the
And
Taliban song.
And the courtesy, it's fun. I mean, again, I haven't listened to it in 15 years, but it
Ooh,
was funny.
Taliban baby.
Yeah,
Good
but
one.
the in the Taliban song, he literally blames Iraq for 9/11. And then
Well, he's not. Look, I mean, he's a country music singer. He's not a historian. He's not a. He's not
well,
the.
no, I know, I
He's
get
not
it. But
Homeland Defense. He's just a dumb country singer.
it's like literally, it's propaganda.
It is
Uh,
propaganda.
and then in the courtesy of the red, white, and blue, the one line I remember is, "We'll light up your country like the 4th of July."
Right.
Um,
We'll,
yeah, but I don't listen to
then we'll
those.
create a political vacuum for years of instability.
Yeah, and then
You're
just leave, and
Hey, I've been there
and then
twice. I can.
throw our own homegrown terrorists. It'll be fun.
I said this on Twitter a while back that I'm old enough to remember when we were supposed to fight them over there, so we wouldn't have to fight them here.
Right.
That was the whole big slogan.
Yeah.
You know, I like that you listen to Toby Keith. That's good. You're very multidimensional. I knew that about you. Reba McEntire, though, I would say this: my dad was madly in love with Reba McEntire.
I mean, why would she's a queen? She probably also voted for. I don't know, but I don't. Her politics are
maybe not though. I mean,
yeah, I don't know.
I think a lot of those people get. Here's the weird thing. Like think about somebody like I don't know if you're super familiar with like Willie Nelson, right?
Yeah.
Guys like that were always like giving the government the finger, right?
Mm-hmm.
They were always about like we should be able to smoke weed when we want. We should be able to have health care for everybody. Like that's always been his thing for forever.
Right.
And it's funny because guys like that are considered outlaw country.
Right.
Like him and Johnny Cash, like Waylon Jennings and guys like that. So I mean, I don't know. I don't know who they voted for. I didn't ask.
Yeah.
I'll ask Reba when I see her next time.
Tell her I love her. I don't know. But it's also I don't know. I just wanted to feel. It's been a really tough year, and I just wanted to feel 12. It's not more specific than that. I wanted to feel 12 again.
Yeah.
And Toby Keith is really evocative of that time of my life.
You know, it's a good Toby Keith song. Should have been a cowboy.
Yeah.
I like that song. And Crash Here Tonight. Have you ever heard that song?
I actually don't know if I know Crash Here Tonight.
That's a good one. People would probably say, it's a love song though, but it's like he always had a sense of humor with a lot of his songs.
Yeah. I mean, it's also I remember he has a song called I'm Just Talking About Tonight, which I listened to over and over again when I was 12 years old. And my mom was always this is really evolved because most men won't tell you that they're just talking about.
See, he's an honest guy. He's like, listen.
I know. I mean, it really is a fantasy that before he sleeps with you, he tells you this is just about sex.
I'm not trying to commit. I'm just trying to, just talking
about. I'm not talking about locking together. That would be too demanding. That's what we'll
do. Next time we're gonna just do a Toby Keith sing along. The entire podcast.
I'm gonna get canceled for this. I mean, honestly, though, at this point, my career getting canceled would be the best thing that ever happened to it.
I've been trying to get canceled this whole time. Nobody cares.
Well, I mean, the thing is again, also recently, all of these people will be the same people who would be oh, Louis C.K. should come back or whatever.
Yeah.
They're also the people calling in death threats so that Kathy Griffin can't perform. Right? It's just everybody's in this mob, and we've just forgotten that we're people who make mistakes. But also, the stakes are higher. This is the thing that I think again.
Don't you think to her with the Trump head that was a little much maybe? When she had the decapitated Trump head, what'd you think about that?
I mean, I think there's a lot of. I think the Trumps did a really good job of playing. I don't know if this is what we were calling them at the time, but what we would call now blue check liberals. Like, because like Chelsea Clinton was really upset about it. It was
Yeah.
like I don't, and they like really made it about Barron. They
Barron.
mentioned Barron like.
Barron's really the victim in all this.
Well, I mean,
But he's
his
like 6'7".
parents,
Have you seen that kid?
What?
That kid, yeah, he's like 6. No way that's Trump's kid. No way.
I don't know. Trump isn't short, I guess.
No, it's like 6'2", 6'3", because he bragged about it in the debates to Marco Rubio because he's like, oh, I'm 6'3", look at my heads.
Well, no, but I think I don't think. What is that thing that oh my god, Wonder Woman, that actress who plays Gal Gadot, when people asked her about the Imagine video. Do you remember the Imagine video?
Oh God.
And she was like, it didn't transcend. Like, I don't think that the Kathy Griffin video photo transcended. Like, I don't think it worked. I don't think it conveyed exactly what she wanted to convey. But I think like a lot of that moral outrage.
Gal Gadot is so boring.
Oh yeah, well, you know.
Am I allowed to say that now?
I know
she's a woman.
Yeah, I don't like her. So yeah, fine.
Is that your siren or mine?
It's mine.
Oh, okay. There you go. Ah, the sweet sounds of New York in the spring.
Yeah. I mean, you know. It's also like I live very close to there's a lot of like quote unquote outdoor spaces. They've built these little like huts in the parking lots. And they have like
what a place.
Instead of restaurants, and they call them outdoors. And I'm like very skeptical that being in them counts as outdoors. But there's a hookah place outside of my building. Hookah. Which again, like I think people are like sharing hookahs.
Well, yeah, they sit around the hookah and pass it around.
Yeah, no, this is not a good idea.
The first time I smoked a hookah was in Iraq, actually. Okay. Like a real Iraqi hookah on a dirt floor. So, yeah, I'm like, oh, okay, I did that. I'm good now.
But yeah, so sometimes I'll hear loud sounds, and it's people, just like hanging out at the hookah place. And sometimes I hear loud sounds, and there's like a playground near me where I think probably people sell drugs at night. Again, you know, I do drugs. Like, I don't.
Of course.
You know, I'm cool.
You do a lot of drugs?
Not a lot, but
every chance I get.
Yeah?
No. No, not at all.
No, I mean, like, I smoke weed. I
never would have guessed that.
I've never really done pills, but I might start this summer. Like, who knows?
I haven't done really hard real hard drugs, but I've been considering it lately.
I mean,
might not be a bad idea at this point.
The world is like literally ending. Like, why not?
No, come on. Biden's gonna be all right. He's gonna save us all. He came and walked up a flight of stairs, but he's gonna keep us all from slipping into oblivion.
No, I mean, this is again. Okay, this is gonna be like a depressing thing, and also like maybe like a little bit of a white thing. But it's so funny to me that like
depressing and white, my two favorite things.
Yeah. Like, he thinks we can just like go back in a way, like, and it's so funny that like everybody's like, oh, we can just go back to normal, when like literally everybody I know has like at least one. This is so depressing. But like everybody I know has at least one gaping wound where there used to be a cherished relationship. Like, we are such a broken country. And the idea that like we'll just pretend that we like aren't broken anymore, and that'll solve all of our problems. And I mean, like, I really appreciate the relief. I would have appreciated more. Like, I'm
Thanks
okay. Not
thanks for the
me.
money, Joe, but we're still fucked.
Well,
Appreciate it.
yeah. Well, I mean, like, if you do the add up the math, they paid us like $200 a month for the whole pandemic.
Yeah. Worst pandemic ever.
I
Terrible.
we had the internet. That's nice, I guess.
Well,
But
we had
like,
Twitter. We could go tweet about it.
we could go tweet about. Oh, we never talked about my Twitter journey.
Oh God. All right. Yes. Let's please all settle in for this. My God.
Gather round, children, and let's
Yes.
discuss Arielle's relationship with Twitter.
Let me spin a yawn. All right. Proceed with your Twitter journey.
No, I mean, like, I think I always kind of wanted, like, it's not just about Twitter, it's about building an online presence. And I was always kind of like,
I'm sorry. All right. Okay. I'm good. Online presence. That just got me. I could.
well, no, I mean, it's like, this is the thing, right? Like,
Okay.
the internet is the best thing and the worst thing to ever happen to any of us.
Well, you're saying you had this plan. Like this was your plan.
No, well, okay. Okay. So for like, you know, years you think, like, I'm a comedian, I'm a funny person, and it's like a hard industry to break into, and you should use like every tool you have to your disposal. But
It's,
I think,
well, I think it's easy to break into, but it's hard to make a living doing it, right?
well, yeah, of course,
Say
but
that.
it's not even that. Like, you gotta, I mean, you gotta spend a lot of time paying attention
Yeah.
to Twitter for things. But I was always like afraid, because like once something's on the internet, it's on the internet for forever. See, like, our
Yeah.
whole conversation
Yes.
before. And yeah, no, I was like using the fact that I was like afraid that my like jokes weren't good enough to put online as like an excuse.
Mm-hmm.
To not put anything online. And also, like, it does require a certain amount of effort to like learn how to crack Twitter. Like, you need to like pay attention to the algorithm and like have your friends on board with like a strategy of how you guys can mutually support each other.
Do you do that? You say, "Hey, I'm tweeting something at 10 o'clock. Everybody go like it, retweet it."
I don't do that anymore. But
Not before the Muppet thing happened.
I mean, the Muppet thing was not that like. No, okay.
Now you're like,
So
you see this tweet?
I'll be honest.
See you, losers.
Okay, originally I had a group of like four or five friends,
Mm-hmm.
and we turned on Twitter notifications for each other, so that we would, because the earlier you like a tweet, the more impact it has on how well that tweet does.
Like, as soon as it's posted, if someone likes it, it kind of...
That matters more than if somebody likes it like an
I
hour
gotcha.
later. So I had 4 or 5 friends who were like involved in that original group, and then maybe like 3 of us. No, I would say 5 or 6, and then like 3 or 4 of us like actually consistently did that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, this has like been another Twitter controversy. Some people think like trying to manipulate the algorithm is somehow like I want to be very clear. I do not have a healthy relationship with Twitter, but like also I don't think trying to manipulate the algorithm with your friends means that you aren't friends with your friends.
I see.
I think to me, I think there's some people who think of the algorithm as somehow neutral, like, and trying to manipulate it is cheating.
Cheating at Twitter.
Yeah, but I think that the algorithm is total arbitrary, meant to like make people who are probably not I don't believe in good people or bad people, but people who are not like actively like the people who make the Twitter algorithm don't give a shit about the quality of a content, right?
Right. Yeah. It just looks at the likes, or like if something gets liked soon enough.
Right.
Yeah.
And I mean, like, they literally, you know, I mean, they've banned him now, but like they also made like I don't think Donald Trump becomes president without Twitter. So like, and like if Donald again, I think that Donald Trump was a symptom, not like cause. But like, I think if Donald Trump hadn't become president, like I'm making such a okay. I'll come back to the Donald Trump thing, but I think that like manipulating the algorithm is fair game. And it makes me sad when I see friends who are very funny who who like have some sort of loyalty to this algorithm and don't want to manipulate things.
Oh, I see.
I think they should.
So they'll have like funny tweets, but they'll have like 10 likes or something like that.
Right.
Like, it
and
doesn't
I mean,
go
like,
anywhere. I think every one of my tweets should get at least 3,000.
Okay. I mean,
You know, I think
sure.
I'm being silenced by big tech every time I make a tweet. I think.
Yeah. I mean, Jack hates you, so
He does. He does. I had a tweet get like set like 75 likes one time. It was very interesting. I was like, oh, wow.
And I mean, like, you know, sometimes you go viral for things that you don't want to go viral for.
That is also true, because I was going to be ironic, and then I was going to do the whole, hey, since you're here, here's my SoundCloud. I don't have a SoundCloud, but I was going to say I had a SoundCloud. That's what a lot of people do on when their tweets blow up. Did you do that? Did you comment on your Muppet tweet?
So the like new thing now, again, this is like controversial.
See, I need you to let me know in case I have a tweet that goes crazy.
Yeah. So yeah, there's like you can say like so one of the things that like again, this is manipulating the algorithm. I don't know. I'm like spilling all of my secrets, but I also think that everybody should have them. So
you can say check out my friends or something like that.
Yeah. And then like of course, because you've tagged your friends, that also like helps your tweet.
I see.
And some people are very upset about it because they think it like means that you're not really friends.
But it doesn't matter though.
Well, right. And like everybody you're tagging in it knows that that's what's going on.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it's fine. And like it's also and then
it's all imaginary. The
Twitter.
Yeah, no, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, like, again, if you think that for a second I'm claiming I have a healthy relationship with Twitter,
no, not for a second.
I'm a very unhealthy relationship to Twitter, and I'm aware of it. And like likes don't really matter, but also they do in the sense that like the more likes a tweet gets, the more people see it. and the more
True.
people see it,
Maybe they'll be like, "Oh, who is this
yeah, the more
funny,
followers you
funny
get.
young lady?"
And
Yeah.
like people find, like, I don't know, like I have like legitimately, I have made friendships on Twitter that I like really value, and I am so surprised and happy about it. But that isn't why I joined Twitter. I joined Twitter. Well, I joined Twitter originally because I had a public speaking business and I wanted to promote it. But like,
The most noble of all causes. I had something to say.
no, but now, like, I use Twitter now because I am a comedian and I want to grow my audience. And I think what I say is funny and I want more people to hear it. And I don't really feel sorry for it. And I've made like friends in the process, and I want them to also succeed, and I want us all to succeed. And I think there's like a lot of moral, like, I don't like the one thing on the internet, like I can see where people are coming from in a lot of different internet fights, but the internet insult that makes the least sense to me is like clout chaser, when they're like, oh, you're just on Twitter chasing clout.
Right.
And it's like, yeah, like, so are you.
Yeah.
Like, what are you talking about? Like, nobody's like, I want to join Twitter so nobody likes my tweets and nobody sees them, and I just shout into the abyss. I love shouting into the abyss.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's the whole thing about social media is like self-validation.
Right. And like,
You know.
again, it's not real, and you can get really like in to a wormhole of like, I'm not like this with Twitter so much. I am like this with Instagram a little bit, where you're just like trying to find the right time to post.
Oh yeah.
And it's like, because like again, I want the maximum number of people to see what I.
What do you put on? So what do you put on Instagram that you don't put on Twitter? Like, what's the difference? Because I don't know.
I mean,
I'll say this because there are a lot of podcasters who use Instagram, and I'm thinking, I'm like, what's you just put pictures on there? Like, what's the point of that?
yeah, I mean, I use Reels a lot on Instagram, which
I don't know what that is.
That's their TikTok competitor.
Oh, I see.
But a lot of my TikToks and a lot of my Reels are just me reading tweets. So,
hey, since you're here, here's what I tweeted yesterday.
Yeah.
Here's what you're missing.
Like a week ago. Okay. And also this is another thing, again, that the companies do. And it's a real thing. Okay, so have you ever heard of being shadow banned?
Yeah, actually I talked to a podcaster about that a couple weeks ago. They were shadow banned. They have an adult themed podcast. And so they run into shadow banning a lot, I guess. But I don't think I'll have a problem with that, but I guess it's
like, but it's also like one of those things. The thing that's like when I think I've only been partially shadow banned, and it's only been once. But I was convinced that it was real. I'm still convinced that it happened and that it was over. But like the thing is like when anybody else says that they're shadow banned, they sound a little crazy.
Right.
And then like you'll say it and you can just see people in their eyes be like, you think that Instagram gives shit about what you want to say. And you're like, but they do!
They did. I saw it. It was real. It's like seeing a UFO. Like, no, you didn't do that. No,
like,
that didn't happen.
yeah, and I mean, like, Instagram in particular is also bad about this because, like, they change their algorithm a lot because they don't want people gaming the system.
Right.
God, I sound like such a fucking nerd.
You do. You are.
I am. But like usually I'm a nerd about more interesting things than this. But like
We should have just stuck with Toby Keith at this point.
yeah, no, we can talk about Toby Keith again. I have more to say about him.
That was only a sample.
But God, if I ever get famous, conservatives are gonna come for this clip, and they're gonna.
I don't give a shit about conservatives. Who cares?
I mean, whatever. Democracy will be over in 9 years. Why do I?
It won't matter. We'll all be dead, or we'll be living in a bunker.
I'll be in an internment camp.
You will. I'll be there too.
Yay! Like, what if we like met for the first time in like
in an internment camp? You're like, hey.
Yeah, I mean, we weren't Nazis enough. I mean, like that. I will say, well, but anyway, Instagram will like Instagram changes their algorithm a lot. Mm-hmm. So like, because they don't want people gaming the system, because they like to think of their system as like.
When you think though that they would want a bunch of people to have like a bunch of popular posts, like wouldn't that make sense?
But they like the theory is that you want the algorithm again. Algorithms aren't neutral, but like the theory is that you want the algorithm to find the best material.
Oh, I see.
And so they change the algorithm because they don't want people gaming the system. But like sometimes they'll please, okay. I want to be very clear.
Here we go.
I think everybody should fucking game algorithms, and if any of this is helpful for you, please do it.
Do it.
That's all I want. I want us all like we're not like users on social media. We are not each other's competition. Our competition is fucking big tech. Fuck them all. Burn it all to the ground, but not before it makes me famous.
That's right. I might do that. When I post a new podcast episode, I might just tag like Taylor Swift and a bunch of other people in it.
I mean,
who cares?
I mean,
doesn't she have the most on Twitter? She has like 8 million or something.
Probably. She was really. Million. Did you see that? Sorry.
See what?
Okay, there's this show, I didn't watch it, called Ginny and Georgia. But one of the characters on Ginny and Georgia made a Taylor Swift joke that like the joke in and of itself is sexist, and like I'm sure Taylor is like really tired of it. But also like it was a character.
Oh, okay. I thought it was like a reality show or something.
No, it's a fictional show. It's about a mom who I think the mom is Jenny and I think the daughter is Georgia, but it might be the other way around.
I've never heard of it. So
it's apparently not very good. I've seen and the mom is white and the daughter is half black.
Oh, I see.
But that's not relevant for this story. But there was another clip that was circulating around Twitter that it was not okay. But anyway, so the mother she's a single mother. She moves around a lot. She has 2 kids by 2 different fathers, and her daughter yells at her and says, "You've had more boyfriends than Taylor Swift." And Taylor Swift got on Twitter and was like, I'm so tired of this sexist bullshit, writer of Ginny and Georgia. And like her fan, oh God, I'm just really like, this is like the most worry. I like it, have admitted to like it. I like Taylor Swift. I want to be very clear.
I just want to put this out there. We're friends of Taylor.
Yeah. I like her music, but like what she
Right.
did was pretty irresponsible because this like unleashed all of these like scams.
I'm sick of these fucking made up Twitter words.
Well, that's an Eminem word in fairness.
But nobody started using that in that context until Twitter came along.
Okay.
I'm sick of it. Stands and ratio and what's the other crap they say?
I will say, like, recently, like 3 weeks ago or something, Chris Evans had like an Instagram story, and he it like, you know, on Instagram stories they can like play music over it. And
I've never been on Instagram, so I don't know. I just know the gist of it. I figure it's just a bunch of pictures. And people just hobnobbing.
I mean, that is, you know, they do want you to post pictures, but anyway, he like he posted a thing. There are like several different like, because Instagram, one of the things Instagram likes to do is it like steals ideas from like other platforms.
Yes.
Anyway, so there's like the grid, which is probably what you think of as Instagram, which is just people posting pictures, is the grid.
Well, yeah.
And then there's the stories, which disappear after 24 hours. And on one of his stories, which again disappears for 24 hours, after 24 hours, it's like not a big deal. He like had a Nicki Minaj song playing, and Nicki Minaj stands. They're so excited by this. It trended on Twitter.
Try viral.
Like, I mean, so viral. Like ultra viral. Just this movie star liked a song.
It's so stupid. People are so stupid. I'll say it right here, right now. People are so stupid. I go on Twitter sometimes. I like to look at what's trending.
Mm-hmm.
9 times out of 10, I have no idea what any of that shit means. Usually, it's some like anime crap, which I don't know anything about anime. I've never seen it. I've never watched it. I know it's like Japanese animation or whatever. But it'd be like a name, like a common name, like, you know, Mike or something. And I'm like, oh, I wonder who they're talking about. And I click on it, and it's like an anime character, and it's like you know, because usually first thing in the morning, stuff has trended overseas, and then you see that on Twitter, and then it's just like, yeah, like dumb stuff like, excuse me, dumb stuff like that, or Chris Evans.
Chris Evans liked
the song. Oh my God! Everybody stop what you're doing.
And I mean, like, to say he liked a song, like literally on a 15-second thing that lasts for 24 hours, he used a song. But anyway, to go back to Taylor, so Taylor like complains about this joke, which like I understand why you would be annoyed by that joke, but then like, you know, I don't know, hundreds of thousands of people start harassing the actress.
Oh yeah,
who's like a 16-year-old actress. Like, that's not like, she didn't come write that line.
Yeah.
And then like this other comedian, like one person who's like a friend of a friend of a friend on Twitter, I would say, was like sort of defending the actress, and this was like 3 weeks ago, and her name on Twitter is still didn't write on Ginny and Georgia, because people are still, and like people are like, you didn't write on Ginny and Georgia, but you're a Ginny and Georgia apologist, which
is so stupid.
Which is like like Like,
Yeah.
like when I think of apologist, I think of Nazi apologist. You know what I mean?
I think of either Nazi apologists or Hillary Clinton apologists. Those are the two apologists I think about, which are the worst. Both of them.
I used to love Hillary. But
No,
is
here's
that
the thing, though.
shocking? What?
No, that isn't shocking. I expected that.
I have very mixed feelings towards her now.
Well,
Mostly,
yeah. Well,
negative, but
the Taylor Swift thing, like she
Mhm.
can't control what other people are going to do. But there's all
Well,
these. But here's the thing. But hang on. If she really had a problem with it, she should have contacted these people outside of Twitter.
right,
Because if you post anything publicly, especially as a celebrity, you
right,
know it's gonna blow up. So that's what she wanted. Like she wanted to.
right.
She was pissed. I mean, rightfully so. I think
Yeah,
because
no, I mean the joke
her
is sexist.
boyfriend.
Also because
Yeah,
like
she's also been in the public eye since she was what 15.
yeah,
So
no,
every boyfriend she's had has been like on the
and
front page of
she
every
really
news.
hasn't had that many boyfriends. Do you know what I mean? Like she probably like averages like one a year. Like calm
That's
down.
not bad. Not
Yeah,
bad at
like
all.
it's
But
normal.
John Mayer counts for like 10 though. I mean,
But John Mayer is like a much bigger slut than Taylor Swift, and nobody gives a shit about. I mean,
well, that's the thing. Like if a guy bangs a lot of women, that's cool. But if a woman is hooking up a lot of dudes and she's a floozy, you know?
but she's not like she like dates them. Also, like I think about half. Like when I say she's averaging about one man a year, I think about half of her relationships are not real anyway. So that's really
No.
like one man every 2 years. Like
Yeah,
calm
that's not
down,
bad.
everybody.
That's not bad. Everybody calm down. And I think she's been with this actor guy for several years now.
Yeah, I don't
The
really
British
know
guy.
him. Yeah,
I try to keep up with her as much as I can.
yeah. I mean, and again, I like her music.
Hmm.
I don't, but it was just like she knew what she was doing when she did it,
Oh
and she
yeah.
didn't care. I mean, it's also like I can't remember her name. I remember on
That'll be you one day. You'll say something bad, and all your people will start jumping on them. All the
oh,
Ariel stands.
oh my god, I would love to have Stan. No, not
You do
really.
have stands. You have reply guys.
I have reply.
I love those guys. I retweeted one of them one day. Did you see that? You didn't see that, did you?
No, I might have missed it.
So there was some guy that it was some tweet you had, I don't remember, and he was like, of course it's like some name that's you know looks to be maybe like Indian or something.
Okay.
He didn't have a tweet. He didn't have a profile picture, and
Mm-hmm.
he was like, "You are beautiful. Will you be my wife?" or something like that. I can't remember now. I retweeted it though because I thought I just started laughing. I thought it was funny. But yeah, those guys, all those guys are just
Yeah,
wacky.
but I mean, like, I hope I will. I hope if I get like a bigger, I mean, it's
That's
also
why
like
I
one
don't.
of those things. Like,
Sometimes, no, hang on. I want to reply to some of your tweets, but I don't want to be a reply guy.
well, no, I mean,
I don't
again,
want to be.
reply to them because replying to them really helps with the algorithm.
I don't do anything with your tweets. I just read them sometimes.
Oh no, you should like them.
No, because you have this scheme going. I don't want to because I got one day I'll like it and you'll just send me an angry message. Don't like my fucking tweet. You threw off the algorithm.
No, I mean, no.
So then I gotta tag Taylor Swift to kind of balance the shit
Okay,
out.
this is a thing that happens on the Twitter algorithm,
Mm.
and again, I'm totally in favor of manipulating algorithms, but this is a thing that people on the TikTok algorithm
The
do.
TikTok.
This is a TikTok thing that I think is fully insane that people
Yeah.
do this, and that's ableist language. I'm sorry.
That is get out of here with that.
It's wild. It's wild, but like there is and again like so much about like these algorithms in general is just like superstition, like you'll be like, I posted at 8 o'clock and I got a lot of likes, so I'll post at 8 o'clock the next day. You know, like it's all kind of crazy. Again, anyway, but like TikTok in particular really like feeds that, because like the algorithm on TikTok, it's I think they like get a lot of
$12-year-olds.
Well, no, like I think the people who are designing the algorithm are basing it on like gambling addiction, because like on most platforms you'll get like sort of like consistency in the amount of likes you get, and then every once in a while you'll get like a bigger response, and usually you can like figure out why. But like TikTok, like you'll get like nothing, and then like 150,000 views, and you'll be like, okay, I don't know what I did. But like, for example, nobody like, and again, we don't like, no, on TikTok, if you write captions on TikTok, people don't write sex, they write segs, like SEGGS, because like somebody somewhere wrote SEX on a TikTok and got few views, so they changed it. And like, anyway,
it's so stupid. The whole thing's so stupid. I see this stuff. No, I'm serious. I see this stuff.
No, of course.
Like it's like a 5-second video of somebody lip syncing a song, and it goes viral.
Yeah, I mean,
like
a lot of times because they're hot. Like that's like, the other thing. But like,
or like the guy on the skateboard with drinking the ocean spray. I mean, I don't have anything against that guy, but it's like, how many times have people done that? Probably a bunch. And
I
then,
do.
So there, you do it all the time. I know you do. You skateboard and drinking ocean spray, and you lip syncing to some Toby Keith.
Such a good skateboarder.
so good. With Toby Keith going, you know, not talking about tonight. And then this guy, people like give this guy money, then this guy a house, and it's like, what the hell, man? That's really the American dream. The American dream is going viral, and like the chick who put glue in her hair.
Oh yeah, I mean, I do feel sorry for her.
I feel sorry for her because people were really like laying on the abuse on her, and I was like, that's kind of out of hand.
Yeah, no, I mean, like, again, also like people on it's interesting because one of the things that's sort of like a blessing and a curse. Well, no, I think it's a curse now. One of the things about the TikTok algorithm that would have been to its credit like 5 years ago, and actually maybe could have saved us, is that it's not an echo chamber. Like, it will show your videos to people who aren't following you, and like if you disagree with it and you like comment on it, it will show it to people you are following. And like again, 5 years ago, I think that could have saved democracy.
Full circle.
But now, like, democracy is already dead, so it just means that like I had a video that got, well, I cannot remember what my original point was. I will tell you my original point later. But like, I had a video about the Capitol, about impeachment, about the Capitol rioters.
Of course.
And it went viral like a week after I posted it.
On TikTok?
And like marginally viral. I like hit it eventually. But it was also like, but it went like almost exclusively with like staunch Republicans, and I got like probably 100 comments of each, like 100 comments of them being like, "You're being so dramatic. It wasn't that big a deal," and then also just as many comments being like,
"You're so
the
brave.
Next time there's an attack, we're gonna kill you too, bitch." You know, whoa. Like. And then, you know, I like hit it. But what was my original point about TikTok?
We
were talking about Taylor Swift.
I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know why I'm asking you. Like, you would know. Yeah.
What about, hey, I was gonna ask you about this. What about what's it called? Hang on. I got it written down right here. I do. Hang on.
Yeah, no, I'm excited.
Clubhouse. There you
Oh.
go. See, I saw you. See, I do read your tweets occasionally.
Yeah, but you don't like
But
them.
no, I don't want to mess up the algorithm. And
No.
then there were some podcast people talking about it. So I was trying to figure it out. And so
I can invite you, by the
you
way.
can, well, hang on. Let me explain this to you in the way I understand it, and you can laugh and tell me how stupid I am.
I'm not gonna do that.
Basically, it's like people, it's like talking on the phone.
Mm-hmm.
But you can invite people into like a group conversation.
Yeah.
But you can leave recordings, right?
No.
No. Okay. See,
so like,
that's where
have you seen Twitter Spaces at all?
No.
Okay, well then forget I said that for like an hour. But Clubhouse is like, so like, anyway. I feel like I set an alarm that we've been talking to post something on Instagram, but it's okay.
Well, we'll probably wrap this up after Clubhouse.
Okay. Yeah, I've had fun. It's been fun. You know, when I'm like super famous, people are gonna dig this up and destroy my life. It's gonna be great.
No. What I'll do is I'll burn it on a DVD and just bury it in the backyard. No big deal. With all the other embarrassing things I have back there. I always have fun talking to you. This is always a good time.
I know.
Fantastic.
It's good to talk to you. But so Clubhouse, the way it works is you can start a conversation, and then people can join it. It's audio only, which is kind of nice.
It's like a party line.
Yeah.
But
like a lot of I haven't been on it in like 2 weeks.
What do you have to time it out? Like you have to, like if you're on there and no one else is, you can't talk to anybody, right?
Well, I mean, you're just talking to yourself. I was doing a thing. My apartment needs to be organized, and
I find that hard to believe.
Because I seem so on top of things.
No. You got your shit together. What can I say?
Aww. I know you're making fun of me, but it's so sweet that somebody would think I have my shit together, because I definitely don't.
No, it's a joke. It's just a joke. That's all.
Yeah, no, it's okay. So basically, you start like a room.
Yeah.
And then you can give it a title, and you can give it a time beforehand that you're gonna start. And then you talk, and then people can join you. And like, it is fun, but it also like it has a tendency to get serious. I think it could be interesting in that, like, you could probably simultaneously, while you're making a podcast, just like be on Clubhouse. And have people listen then. And like, people were listening to it. People are listening to it. But like, Twitter is like, Twitter is releasing 4 different features slowly over the past couple of months.
The Fleets, that's one of them, right?
Yeah. So Fleets competes with Instagram Stories and Snapchat.
Mm-hmm.
So the thing where Chris Evans posted the Nicki Minaj song, that was like a fleet. It wasn't even a tweet.
Oh, I see.
Instagram. Then there's
very important distinction.
I mean, I'm just saying, it was like so not important, and yet people really cared. And then there's Spaces, which is competing with Clubhouse. Only like a couple of people have the right to start. Anyway, Spaces. Then there's Super Tweets, which is coming out soon, which is to compete with Patreon.
Oh, we have to pay?
Yeah. And then there's something else. I've forgotten what it's called, but it's like a newsletter. Again, you have to pay, but it's for like longer form articles, and that's competing with Substack. So
basically, Twitter is just going to do everything eventually.
Yeah, I mean, well, but they're not very good at doing everything. Like they shut down Vine in like 2018. And then in like 2019, TikTok took by storm, and like TikTok's not that different from Vine. Also, I will say, like, I love how irrelevant Twitter advertisement is. Like, it's so funny to me. They will, like, that algorithm, the Twitter algorithm will, like, it'll go through these extra links to make me feel so sad so that I'll want to buy something. And then the thing that it'll try and sell me is, like, a webinar about Bitcoin. And it's like, what are you? This is, I'm not going to buy this. What are you doing?
Oh my god!
Like, I will never be that sad. You could try and make me very sad, but I'm never gonna be sad enough to buy a webinar about Bitcoin. Like, I'm really sorry.
Never say never. You don't know.
Yeah. Who knows? Maybe 3 pandemics in, I might start to consider.
I'm sure we got at least 2 more coming. I mean, this can't be the only one.
And we handled it so poorly. Like, it's crazy to me. I keep saying crazy, and I'm really trying to stop saying crazy. But it's wild to me.
Wild.
That at this, like, every week we should get a package from the government, and it should have 10 N95 masks and 7 at-home COVID tests.
You talking about our government?
Yeah, any government.
Oh. Okay. That ain't gonna happen.
Yeah, I know, but that's like
no, it should though. I mean, damn right it should.
Like this, like the fucking 2 mask thing, and I do it occasionally. Like, I'm not saying I don't do it, but it's just like, give us N95s.
That's the dumbest part about it. It's like, as soon as the pandemic started, the government's like, everybody needs to wear masks. So, but don't leave your house, but go to the store and buy some.
Right.
Like, what the fuck,
it's also
man?
just like, I mean, yeah, like, outdoor transmission is really low.
And then people, and then to go full circle, like Instagram, you have celebrities posting photos like designer masks.
Yeah. I saw someone, this is the first time I've seen it, but I did see someone in like a space helmet the other day.
Whatever.
It was like a fishbowl and like a filter.
I don't know. I have I got some N95, but see, the problem is, like, when they first announced that, you couldn't get any.
Right. And I mean, like, they also, like, it was pretty obvious. Like, if you remember, like, very early on in February, they were like asking us not to wear masks.
I know.
Because they didn't have enough for the hospitals.
Which is dumb.
Yeah, no, they should have had enough for the hospital.
Well, I
But
mean,
it was like it did
the
also
hospitals
like
have their own
erode.
supply, like their own supply chain for that shit, you know?
Right. I mean, like I have sympathy for it, but it was also like and not to get I think not to tie it back into to tie it back into like what happened last week. Like I
Mm-hmm.
think I think the China virus thing exacerbated like hate crimes towards Asians, but I think
Oh yeah.
also like the I I don't know what was going on in Missouri, but in New York in like February and early March,
Mm-hmm.
you saw Asians wearing masks
Mm-hmm.
because that's already like a pretty common thing to happen in a lot of Asian countries, and I think
Right.
the fact that like our government at that time was like, don't wear masks, wearing masks is bad, was also not helpful in terms of curbing that, especially because the people saying don't wear masks probably knew if we all wear masks. It's also so weird to me. It's not weird, but it's so frustrating when people will be like anti-masks and anti-lockdown because it's like the masks are a strategy for opening up, right?
Right. Yeah.
So like, which do you want to do? I don't know. Like what? Like you don't
People
have
are,
to wear a mask in your own house, but you don't want to stay in your own house. I don't know.
I remember back in like last year this time, I saw on the news that the Kentucky National Guard were surrounding a man's house because he was refusing to stay at home after he tested positive. And I'm like, yeah, we're all screwed. We're all doomed, you
Yeah.
know? But
Yeah. I mean, the like, yeah. Also getting tested, like people are like,
I never did. I never got tested. But then again, I haven't really been anywhere, you know?
I get tested pretty regularly, even though I'm like half vaccinated. I got tested. I had an earache,
Mm.
so I got a test done. And earache is not really a symptom, and I didn't have COVID. But like,
Well, there you go. You might as well.
yeah, I mean, I will say I don't know if this is shocking, but if, for you, we haven't really like touched on me being an anxious person on this interview, but I am an anxious person, and we have talked about it before.
Mm.
And I have like a history of like mild hypochondria,
Oh, I see.
and I haven't really had like a huge problem with it this past year until like this weekend, um, when my like left arm where I got the shot was still hurting, and I had like heartburn,
Mm.
and I was like, am I having a heart attack?
You're like, am I having a heart attack,
Well,
or
I mean, I had chest pain and left arm pain. Like
was it,
what? Like
the cheese quesadilla? That's always a toss up.
yeah, no. I mean, and
Or, or
I
you
mean,
know, I
if it
mean,
was a heart attack 3 days ago, I'm doing pretty good.
still knocking along.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
Let's wrap things up.
Okay.
We could talk forever, but we got to save
We
stuff for
could.
future episodes.
Yes. Well, I'll be back.
You will, of course, you will. You will
Yeah.
be back. I won't do any more Twitter exiles either. I'm here to
I
stay.
mean, you can. Like,
I can't leave, especially now. I can't leave you like this. I know
well,
for
I
a
mean,
fact.
you've
I
already
can't.
admitted that you don't like my tweets because you don't
I
want to mess up my algorithm.
I I will. I'll go back and like them all. Just throw the whole thing off.
No, it'd be great. Oh, that was the thing that okay. So this is a thing that TikTok creators do
Yeah.
that's supposed to manipulate the algorithm that I think is I would never do this in a million years. So there's again, there's a suspicion. It's not even like verified that this is true. I'm sure the people who do this think it's true. But there's a thing called spam liking, which is supposed to be bad for TikTok, which is someone going to your TikTok page and like going through your videos and not watching them to completion and just liking your videos.
I see.
And because likes matter less on TikTok than like amount viewed. This is true. Like, it's much better for somebody's algorithm on TikTok if you just watch the whole video than if you like it and you scroll down. I do believe that's true. But anyway, there are people, but like average TikTok users don't know this. So like if they find a creator they like, they'll go through and they'll like a bunch of different videos to try and help.
Oh, I see.
And TikTok creators will get mad at those people and block them. And I think that's, I just, like, even if you think it's like there's no way it's hurting you that badly that they're doing this. And even if it is, the idea that you would like block someone who's like enthusiastic about your content because it might hurt you with the algorithm, I think that's really fucked up. I don't know.
See, that's why I don't like your tweets. Because I don't.
That's not how the Twitter algorithm works.
I know. All right. Speaking of tweets, if people want to read your tweets.
Yes, and they should.
It's
Oh, what's happened?
You're good.
Okay.
All right. So again on Twitter, you're Joey Diaz at Joey Diaz, right?
That's not even Joey Diaz. Is that
Coco Diaz, right? Coco. That's it. Anyway, go ahead. Tell everybody where they can find you.
You can find me at Arielle Dundas, ARIELLEDUNDAS, on Twitter, on TikTok, on Instagram, on Clubhouse, on Parler.
We don't have time for that right now. We don't have time for Parler.
But I do have a Parler account, and you can follow me on Parler if you want to. You can find me in all of those places. And I'm very funny and nice and interesting. And yes, sometimes I try and manipulate the algorithm a little bit to get more people to see it. And I don't think that makes me a bad person.
Good. You are very helpful when it comes to algorithms. So we're thankful.
You should be manipulating them too if you have a reason. Like if you're just on Twitter for fun, you don't have to do it. But if you have like an end goal, I think you should look into it. Anyway.
That's right. If you're serious about Twitter.
If you're serious about
presence.
Using Twitter for like a goal, yeah.
Yes. That's true. That's true. That's true. You know what you should do? You should do like Twitter help for people and charge a lot of money.
I try so often and people don't care. I mean, you also like, I want to be clear, I manipulate the algorithm, but I'm also very funny. So that also helps.
So now each tweet I'll say, is this intended to manipulate the algorithm?
Oh, God.
And then we'll get thrown off together. Jack will be like, get the hell out of here.
I mean, you know.
You two and Trump are out of here.
Well, I still have Parler. So
There's always Parler. All right.
We'll have to talk about Parler next time.
Next time we'll do a full breakdown of your Parler account.
Yeah, sounds good.
So put some juicy stuff up there. So
yeah.
All right. Well, thank you. I miss talking to you. Thank you for hanging out.
Yeah, no, it's fun. Yeah.
All right. Bye.
Bye.